Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast where we discuss all things Web3 marketing, blockchain, crypto, and more. We have on Arvin and myself, Jeff. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl commercial for the digital collectible or NFT that was Limit Break. We're going to be talking about how VC funds are investing and doing marketing for their portfolio projects and even seeing some of the jobs that they have up and how you can replicate it for your own startup. And Arvin, maybe you can share on your side.
Yeah, and then hey everyone, my name is Arvin, and I'm gonna be showing you guys some of the ads in the Web3 that we've done, and then it's also a variation of it that we're doing. It's a secret, but we'll share some of it, so the audience can also find out how they can use it for themselves as well.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. So first thing is, Arvin, I know you're based out in Canada. I'm out here in the United States. Did you hear or watch the Super Bowl commercial for Limit Break? I think they believe they spent $6.5 million for that quick spots, which was a digital collectible that they were giving away for free.
So yeah, it's interesting because I was actually watching YouTube videos of people talking about what they thought about it, and then looks like, I like the concept of just the mass adoption and obviously everything about it, and just more people getting to know it, and just I guess entering Web3. But the ones I actually was watching, people weren't really I don't know, people weren't really fond of it. Like what did you think of it?
Yeah, so this is the actual commercial here. And
Yeah.
it was interesting because this team, Gabe Layden with Limit Break, he was actually the former founder of Machine Zone that did Arnold Schwarzenegger's Super Bowl commercial to drive user engagement. There was this game called Mobile Strike.
Yeah, I've
And
seen
then
that.
they also had on Kate Upton, which, at the time, I think this was, a couple of years ago, and it just extremely successful. It was one of the highest grossing mobile games of all time. And, my feedback on it was that, right, they definitely know how to do marketing, right? They're one of the largest ad buyers, I believe, on Facebook. And just looking at this commercial, so this was the opening screen, right? Limit Break. And I'm thinking, okay, what is Limit Break? And then the next screen would be, oh, it's an anime character. I feel that they missed the formula that they used to do, which was so successful. Just take a very famous celebrity like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Kate Upton and use
Showcase
that
that.
as as like a common figure that people can relate to. And I think that's where this could have been improved. And then now you have this, and I look at it, and so what is the appeal to Scan Now? I think Coinbase, the way that they did their Super Bowl commercial, which was extremely successful, and it actually broke the server, I believe, when they launched it. And so you can see here, Coinbase's bouncing QR code was so popular, it crashed their app. And it was just a genius, Pong, really creative type ad. And I thought this was great, right? Very unique, inquisitive. And then it broke the server, or it broke the app download, and then it actually took you to a website app download, as opposed to Limit Break, where they took you to I believe it was a connect your wallet, which they then changed to just Gabe Layden's Twitter following. Now he has 1 million followers.
That's that's interesting. Wait, so for the Binance one, did they
Coinbase.
Was that just
Yeah.
Oh, the Coinbase. Was the Coinbase one just literally like you could do it with your phone and then you would just scan it, or was it like AR?
Yep. So it was with your phone as a QR code. So this is actually a screenshot. I posted us on Twitter. So this was the landing page, and it was great. Yeah. It was basically,
that looks good.
Less talk,
Scarcity.
more. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like funnel builders. Like you can see scarcity up there.
Exactly.
Just very clear messaging.
Exactly.
Just the headlines is good. So yeah, no, that's legit. Yeah.
So scarcity clear call to action, let's talk more Bitcoin, and very easy offer to sign up. Sign up and get $15.
Yeah.
And which is awesome. And then a very, most people have a mobile app, and just, when you compare that to this Super Bowl commercial, connect a wallet, that's kind of confusing. And most people haven't connected their wallet, right, for a while, the retail people that are,
Yeah.
logging in. And so I thought that, this, one hand, it's great that they're bringing exposure to NFTs and digital collectibles, but I feel that they could have done
Yeah.
a much better job
Also,
on
the graphics not like that amazing. I don't know
right.
what you think of it.
Agreed.
It just seems like a Fiverr job. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I think most
But
people that saw it
yeah,
too thought that exact same thing, that
yeah.
it didn't look like a top tier
No,
game.
even the banner, like even the banner on top, like of their Twitter. But
Yeah.
also like so the one with Arnold, I remember watching that.
Yep.
They did YouTube ads on that. Now I don't know
Yep.
if they did Twitter ads too, but they definitely did YouTube ads. And I didn't care about the game at all, but I was just watching it because it was Arnold. So
Right.
that just speaks
Exactly.
to like literally what they were trying to accomplish, and they did. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure a lot of people were just like, "Oh, cool. Like what is he doing here?"
I
So
agree. And, in just general marketing in general, the campaigns that we've seen that are relatively new, if you can tie a familiar face or product to that campaign, it builds trust, which is why, influencer marketing, or just attaching, like FTX, they had on Tom Brady, they had on Steph Curry, and then even Binance had on Ronaldo. It's so much easier when you attach an authority figure that people can associate with your brand, and it makes it that much smoother. And so yeah, I think just general marketing insights for any brand that's out there is, try your best as possible to attach the look and feel of your game to something that people already know of, and it just really just accelerates the process
yeah.
of
And
it.
so what was the result? Did you know? Like what did they accomplish?
Yeah. So yeah, we can all, I think they had the signups, and then they eventually just forwarded the QR code to Gabe Layden's Twitter. I have to research more on the back end of it, and probably
I
one of their
wonder if we do
marketing
it like a
teams.
social. Do you have like yeah, if you pull up Social Blades, we can just check, see how much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
So
that. Gabriel Layden. And
see if
yeah,
there's like
let's,
a jump in his followers.
so followers gained. Oh, so
So if
look,
you
he added, oh, there, 271,000 followers.
interesting.
So what would you say from a paid ad buyer, Arvin, knowing that they spent $6.5 million on just the slot itself, and then you have to pay
It's
for the
terrible.
creatives.
That's terrible.
How
Paying
would
like
you
so like so at worst you will pay $1 per follower in the
yeah.
US. So this guy's like way above that. So
Wow. So here it
yeah.
is. They added oh my gosh, yeah, 100,000 followers that the day of the Super Bowl, and then maybe a little bit after. So if you count these,
And just divide it up.
180,000. Yeah, yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
Yeah,
money.
right. It is. I
Hopefully
had
it makes
other
sense.
ideas too. And just, you know, well, I guess the whole idea is that these are NFTs, these are digital collectibles, and these are characters. And if they could have got the community engaged into the commercial, right? Because he already had hundreds of thousands of followers. And my idea is that to say, what if you can have all these people, your followers, get excited on who's going to win, say, a battle on screen? And then I don't know if you know the mattress guy, where he mattress guy betting, he has a genius marketing technique where he buys, his name is Mattress Mac. And what he does is he sports bets on behalf of the customers. So you buy a mattress, and then if the team wins, you actually get the mattress for free.
And that's cool.
So it's leveraging sports betting. And I thought it was genius because you get your customers so excited on what the result of a game would be. And I said, wow, you could have done this with this with
Super Bowl.
Digi Daikaku NFTs. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
everyone has their characters and everyone's like hyping up for this moment, be like, is my
Oh,
character
okay,
going to win?
cool.
Is my character? And then they do sports bets and they do. And so that was my idea. It's like, wow, you could have really drove
Yeah.
some great engagement.
And yeah, and I suppose also there wasn't a huge incentive for people to even scan it.
Right.
Where so Universal and bunch of companies in entertainment, they're actually, so I hear that they are trying this concept out, that you go watch the movie, and then somewhere in the movie they will ask you to actually scan it, and then you will get certain things from the like from as an NFT. That's not something you would be able to get if you didn't scan it, if you missed out. So see, that's cool. But
Yeah.
then here it's just like scan it, okay, but then what am I getting?
Yep.
So that's where, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was.
100% agree that. Yeah, I think they call it like the second screen experience, where basically you're watching the TV or watching live, but you're also on your mobile phone and you're trying to do some really fun ways to engage. And that's a great idea. And hopefully
They should
people.
have just done like a massive Twitter space instead, like brought all that followers, um, and then just be like, yeah, let's just watch Super Bowl together. And then just also here's this, now it's just like the ads as well. And then just, there's just like have that break in there. And they would actually just bring so many people.
Right.
They would break the Twitter spaces. So yeah,
I
there's like a
agree.
lot of other ways they could have done this, but they just went with a more of a like it's like interactive, but it's like not really interactive. It's just kind of like just do
Yep.
it at your own pace for no reason. That's kind
I
of, yeah.
100% agree. And you know what I feel too is that some of these projects, and we mentioned on last week's episode with Porsche, that they're moving away from really working with the Web3 community that would drive this forward, right?
Yeah,
Porsche didn't really work with any respectful brand ambassadors. Adidas did with
yeah.
G Money, Tiffany did. And then I think of, right, the most successful NFT right now is probably that Checks campaign with Jack Butcher. Did you hear
I haven't
about?
seen that one. No.
Oh my gosh, I don't know, it's probably one of the most we can see what the value is for that. But here it is, it's checks, and this has just been on a tear. And so
2000
yeah,
ETH. Okay.
yeah, and what's really interesting about it is it's a generative art campaign, and what it's doing is really rethinking NFTs, really rethinking like
Mm.
the fact that you can burn these things. And then the whole idea is that you can burn them and that it's going to turn into these elusive checks, which is a um, play on Elon Musk's like verified Twitter check that he's basically has on Twitter. And it's just massively popular.
That's cool. See, I think that idea of burning NFTs, that hasn't been exploited as much. It's just very rarely you see that actually anyone's using it to their advantage. So there's one project that I'm actually currently looking to use it, and it's just, without just, I guess, spoiling it, but it's just the concept of what if you don't believe in something, or you don't want something, and then you buy the NFT and you just burn it. And so that would just like basically it drives that action of you just basically like expressing what you think about some specific idea,
Yeah.
right? Or like, so the concept of burning, I think it's just so like so underrated,
Yes.
where I've seen it probably like once or maybe twice, as if I think about it. And some of these on-chain utilities, I think it's really cool. I saw another one recently on the actual NFT on OpenSea. You can click and you can see all their utilities pop up. Like if you click on the actual NFT
Oh,
itself,
can you pull it up
the
and show it to us?
it would show the utility.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
cool.
if I knew the name, I yeah, this is like so many of cool things happening. But yeah, I don't know the exact name right now, but it was really cool because you had like bunch of things, bunch of places on the actual, like think about like a square like that,
Yeah.
the NFT, and then you could let's say on top left, you would click, it would do specific things. Top right, you would click other things. Like maybe top left was like supply, top right was the actual utilities will just pop up. Like it's actually really cool use of the on-chain utilities. And I see there are companies, this was maybe the second or third companies I saw, that they're actually coming up with these new things to do for the NFT collection. Another one is there's another company in Bucharest. Let me see if I can. I think it's called Human AI, if I'm not mistaken. I've been to their office in Bucharest. Basically, you will give your NFT to them, and then it will make your it will actually make your NFT talk with like AI. So you could give
Wow.
it like any voice, any specific person, yourself, or like and then it would just talk, and it would just it's just it's just the use of AI in a cool way inside the Web3.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
see if I
really
can
cool.
find this. Yeah.
So,
With
so
me, I
there's,
just know all these cool things. I don't know what they're called. Like I want to show people what were they called? I'll try find it.
well, let's definitely show it on the next episode. So I
Yeah.
guess, from a marketing standpoint, and it's just phenomenal how Jack Butcher's checks did it, to come out with something new, because the most of the failed NFT projects I see right now, they're doing the same thing, 10,000 PFPs, and then they're just trying to sell their PFPs without innovating, without coming out with new novel ways of innovation. And so I think, Jack Butcher, it was such a successful campaign because it was very novel and new, but he did take those generative art insights from previous projects. And so, even though we're in crypto winter right now, the whole idea is that you could actually kind of reverse the trend if you come out with something new. And I think, a lot of these NFT project holders need to think about really being unique. And of course, it's going to make your project that much more successful when you're marketing it.
That's interesting. Yeah, because obviously the blue check has been an interesting thing on Twitter as well. It went like even mine, it went from this person is a notable person, went to like legacy and may or may not be notable, and then went back to like this person is a notable person. And then apparently in a few months it's just gonna go away. So all of us we have to just buy the $8 one.
That's
And
awesome.
then now you can get a gold check for a business, and then affiliate. It's called the affiliate badge for a personal, where logo of your company would show next to your name on the personal. So that's like a new thing
That's cool.
Elon is doing until he removes that too. But yeah, that's the new thing.
Nice. All right. What do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think? Should we move on to how cryptos are investing and marketing their own portfolio projects?
Cool. Let's do that.
Awesome. Yeah. So this week, let me share here, and just for everyone kind of listening, over this last, I don't know, couple years, actually, if you go to Google, and this is pretty awesome, if you go to Google and type in crypto VC funds, we rank #1, and we've been indexing a list of the top crypto VCs for many years now. And our goal is to provide them value and also just share insights on what they're doing. So kind of this last week, I spoke to a number of these VC funds, and I thought it was really interesting. And well, I'm just going to pull this from the Andreessen Horowitz website. And so you can see what are the marketing strategies and techniques that even Andreessen Horowitz is looking to do. And you can see here that they're hiring for a marketing person in fintech. And the way that they're going to do it is build and drive brand marketing plans for a fintech vertical by working with general partners, deploying these platforms. So a lot of it is on content and creating valuable content across multiple platforms. And so what I see is like really on the communication side of it, content management, content marketing, writing and editing, really selling the value proposition of why people should ultimately use these platforms. And, um, you know, uh, A16Z was early investor in Coinbase, Airbnb. If you go to their website, OpenSea, just how do you get user adoption into the next OpenSea or into the next, whatever crypto NFT gaming platform that they're kind of working on.
That's interesting. Yeah. And with the AI coming out, well, not that coming out, but with the AI being more prevalent, it's going to be interesting how a lot of people pumping content, and it's the role of the content market is going to change to someone who knows how to use AI, and versus just competing against AI. It's not so much of AI is going to replace humans. It's more like who knows how to use it better. And then that person is actually more successful, and therefore the company is doing better with their content. But the SEO wise, that's interesting because it's just going to be a volume of content coming out.
Right.
So it would be very interesting to see what I already heard. Things that I'm just like, I don't like it. So for example, people talk about how there's an AI driven software that actually can listen to someone else's, let's say some YouTube channel that like some video by another YouTube channel, and AI would listen to it, summarize it, and then you could give it to another AI software. It would actually reword it, and then you give it to another AI. It would just write it out fully, and then someone just at the end just publishes it. So you literally did nothing throughout this whole process. You don't even know the content that this person did all the research for, and then you now have that content too on your YouTube channel. So to me, that's actually terrifying. But I'd be interested to see how it turns out for in the upcoming month, because there was a lot of talk about it, and then now there's no talk about it. It seems like everyone's just actually trying to figure it out, and then maybe there's in a few months it's just gonna blow up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. At the end of the day, and just you've been in marketing for a long time. I saw these content spinners come out a couple years ago, and then the whole idea is that you can rewrite content and game the SEO algorithm. And I feel that those things that do not provide more value to the user are short-lived. The brands that are going to be doing that, and rather than focusing on a better user experience, because if people just rely on the AI, I'm noticing that Google now, they're like de-ranking websites that use too much AI. Even YouTube videos, if it's not engaging and if it doesn't keep people longer, have them interact better, and then maybe they hit the back button, it's just going to work against them. But I'm excited for AI.
Yeah, no, but on this, I guess on the other hand, I would be for that. For Google, I know even AIs are not you can't ask the AI to just create a SEO driven content for you.
Yeah.
That's just not a thing. It will just shut down. It will not do it, which is good. To me, that's good. We want some effort from humans, so that's good.
We should do that on a future episode, because the way that we're using AI here is that I would use ChatGPT to say, give us 5 topics to talk about on our Web3 marketing podcast. And so it actually just gives us the high level, and then you and I come out with the creative, insights from our own brain. And so maybe let's do that on a future episode, just start getting down the AI side of it. So
why not? That sounds cool.
Very cool. And also, other insights when I, talking to these VCs, the way that they're approaching marketing right now is very much about content marketing, which is just basically clearly communicating your value proposition out there. Number 2 is they're actually doing strategic partnerships with companies. And so another VC that I talked to based out of Europe, they're helping their portfolio companies talk to some of the largest media conglomerates around the world. And then another VC is talking to gaming publishers to get their blockchain technology into the hands of the Nintendos, the Segas, the Fortnites, these massive games to utilize the technology. And then the last thing that I found that these VCs are doing to help their portfolio projects with marketing is like events and conferences. And so being very active with just the Web2 conferences like E3 and also the Web3 conferences like ETH Denver. And maybe you can share on like what you're hearing on the events and conferences side as well.
Yeah, so that's very interesting to me, the events in industry in the Web3, because so I've spoken at a lot of events, and then I want to say since May 22, there was a decline in like in attendance for a lot of events, which had me like, so I live in Dubai now, and I stopped going to, events that are like far away, because I can't tell, right? So I don't know if there's going to be, 100 people, 1,000 people, or like 5 people in the audience. And it's completely fun. Like I can just go for maybe so many of them. But at some point, like it's just, there's a lot of uncertainty for speakers to know, okay, is there going to be audience? And there's no, and I guess to make it worse is that like the speakers in the Web3 usually don't get paid. It's very rare that they get paid. And then to make it even worse, they even have to pay. So then there is so there's a I suppose the people with a lot of great content, sometimes they don't even come to speak, because they would want to charge for the content, versus people who want to just promote themselves, and they have more funding, maybe they just come and speak. So then it's just so that's might be for the with the event industry inside Web3. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Like I obviously I'm getting excited for the upcoming AIBC coming up, and there is it's good at the end of the day, like we're just in front of computer all the day, all day, and just talking to like these like squares of like or like these like hexagons on like Twitter spaces. So like it's good just real people just chatting and just just having drinks or just whatever. So I think that's very appealing to me, just seeing your internet friends in real life. And then yeah, and I to be honest, in Dubai, almost every week there's something going on here. There's some crypto events, whether it be it investors or just just like some exchange here. Maybe they're either doing some party, some like opening for something they just accomplished just recently. So it's actually pretty exciting here. But I don't get to go to a lot of events as much anymore, just because of what I said. But what about you? Do you still go to a lot of events, or like what is it like?
Yeah. So I notice is that during the bull markets, you have 5 conferences a month across the world. During the bear market, it's only the true builders, the people that are in it for the long haul. And just this is really good. So like ETH Denver is coming up here, and it's always packed every year, right? It's a great conference. And then on the flip side of it, last month I heard an event get canceled, a crypto conference event, because
many of them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Literally they booked the venue space and they got canceled. And so when I think about it, it's like that retail audience is just evaporated, right? It's gone, right? You look at the Super Bowl commercials, right? You didn't have any crypto companies really where the previous year. And so we see that natural retraction, but we also see like very high quality builder events are still going strong. And then the top tier conferences that have a strong community can deliver value right now still going.
Well, I mean, I think the problem maybe was also just with FTX. So F1 and Mercedes, they both had I guess sponsorships around FTX. And then since that happened, I mean, how would they know, right? So, but that happened, and then given that that was so, if FTX itself was responsible for a lot of people losing money, they don't want to be like associated with it. So I think they're just afraid. It's not so much of that they don't want to. I see like people are excited individually, and I was actually, I don't know if you talked about this before, but I was reading the PwC report, And there is just like the institutions is increasing, like they're inclined to come through, but they're afraid that there's no regulation, so then they don't want to. But then angel
Oh,
investors, right? So but then angel investors, they are excited because it's just their own money, so they see the point, right? So that's how they can convince themselves to get involved, versus the institutions, they're just like, well, like how, like what if, like, you know, something like FTX happens again, right? And then what are we going to do? And so they're kind of waiting for the regulation to come. And then of course with I suppose with Ripple versus SEC in mid-June, that's gonna determine I guess new things for how further regulations will play out in the
yeah.
industry. So
Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm going to share this as I love the bear market builder times. And this was a shot from, I do remember in 2018, I went to a conference called Token Fest. And actually, you can see my business partner here, Ivan, where we had a booth and we presented. And the people that we met, this was the LinkedIn co-founder. We actually met Alex Mashinsky, you know, with Celsius Network at the time. And the relationships, and people are like, how do you build the bear market? I think if you just show up at these high quality conferences and you just shake hands and build relationships with people,
yeah.
my gosh, they have exponential returns. And if I look at some of the projects there, you know, yes, maybe 70, 80% of them are no longer there, but out of this came Solana. I remember you could get Solana for less than $1 at the time. It was in the cents. I remember, yeah, Celsius. You know, another marketer that I follow, he shared when he was at this gaming event in 2018, and Polygon was there. And at the time, it was only like 2 cents to be able to buy Polygon Matic at that time. And just like, now is a great time to really get connected with people. I also met back in 2018 these co-founders who formed projects together because of this event. And they're like, hey, what do you do? Hey, what do you do? And then, you know, maybe they both had a failed company and they basically said, okay, let's work together going forward. And then from that, like, had this exponentially successful company. So yeah, I just know a lot of projects that are going under right now. They're running out of cash, and just if they could just be more efficient and maybe just join forces with other projects and kind of take the best skill sets of each. And yeah, that's can build out of
Yeah,
this.
I agree. And then there are also a lot of grants out there. So I just noticed like no one's applying to them. Just very rarely people apply to them. I don't know why. It's probably because like people think they can't get it. But then there's like, you know, I saw like one just recently, I don't know which grant, it was some Web3 grant, but like only 8,000 people applied. And then everyone who applied got like 500K, 600K. And I'm like, why wouldn't everyone apply? Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
So, and so it's just very interesting that there are grants out there like that too. And then, I mean, I didn't get any of my projects to apply, but it just made me think. I was like, oh, okay, so this could be a thing, right? So we should just take advantage of it. It's out there. It's available for people. We should 100% do that. And then I guess on the VC side, I was on a Twitter space with them today. They were just, a lot of them were talking about how they just need to trust the founders and the founders' vision. They don't even care about like what they, you know, what they're, as far as community, have right now. Because that's what I was telling them. I was like, if I were you guys, that's what I would care. And they were disagreeing with that. They're like, they don't care about what the community of the project is like right now, or, you know, so much of like what they have is more so like, can they trust the founders and their visions, and then they're going to execute well during like bull market, bear market, all of that to come.
Yeah.
And so that was very interesting, right? I still don't agree with them. I still think people should really look into just take it as whoever created something is an indication that they will create better things. But that's maybe fortunate for some people. It's not the case. So like VCs that they just want to invest like that, then that's good. Like people should take advantage of it. just go in there and just, get funding, and hopefully you will execute.
Yeah. It's interesting. You mentioned the ecosystem funds. On our website, we publish a free list of the top Web3 ecosystem funds. And usually,
Nice.
right, they're grants that people are putting into the system. We've actually heard from some of these that they're pulling back these grants and these ecosystem funds to restructure it in a way that they would get more performance, because typically
Yep.
the ecosystem funds are like, okay, you get a grant, you go ahead and build, you do whatever. Now I think they're structured in a way that, how do we get more users on it? And how do you incentivize true growth, true usability, and whatnot?
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
heard also, and I've heard this before, but I heard it again today. It's consistent with what I've heard previously, is that like they want to, even as far as releasing. So let's say let's say I'm the investor and I tell you, hey, cool, I give you 500K for what you want. And then, but I wouldn't release it right away to you. I would just say, so give me some milestones, and then money will be in the escrow, and then the money will be released to you as you hit these milestones, right? And then, but what's interesting about that is, so I was asking them, I was like, okay, who comes up with those milestones? Because you guys sometimes don't know how to, what makes a project successful. The projects themselves sometimes don't know what makes it successful. So who comes up with these milestones? Because then, if no one knows, then how are you gonna like judge that? And so I think that is a challenge right there, where I think maybe it's just gonna come down to if they're good at like convincing the VCs, or the investors, just say, hey, we think these milestones going to be the ones that we're going to hit. And then VCs kind of don't really have a lot of references, right? So when bull market, everyone was successful, and then bear market, not many people successful. A lot of people are not successful. And so that's also very interesting, like how that plays out for them.
I agree. And, the fundamentals of just finding product market fit, I see, are just so true right now. And just, generally with like these VCs, I'm an LP in several of these VC funds and just checking in with them. And they're just like, we're just back to basics. A lot of the hiring and a lot of the investing that we're doing, we're just doing it with better hygiene now, and just like asking the questions, looking at the metrics, are you truly delivering value to the user? Is this a product that somebody wants to use? And just it's really cool when you think about what the potential is. And they share that, optimistic for the blockchain and crypto industry is that we know it's the future. We know that digital assets, like when email, they keep on going out to say, like, when email came out, you knew that it was better than the old way of just sending a letter. It was faster. And then like Zoom, it's just so much faster for us to just have this video conference call, as opposed to me flying to Dubai and we have to wait for each other on that. And they see the same thing for settlement, right? When you think about blockchain games, financial instruments, the old ways of settling these things are just slower. They're antiquated. We know that the future is going to be just a digital platform that allows people to get things done faster and make life better. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything we miss, or should we close it out and then just kind of tease on for the next episode?
Yeah, so I guess I would just end this. Let's just, before we wrap up, I'll just tell you a little bit about like some of the projects. So obviously paid ads side of things. It's been something that I've been very interested on because of my background, and just knowing that prior to getting into the Web3, everything I did with Web2 was amazing. Like we were just, you have control over the ads itself, you have control over the funnels, and so like here's some of the ads we actually done in the past. This was for a project sold out in I want to say November 22, and it was taking people. So this was a small collection, by the way. It was taking people, and the art is amazing. Like I my sister, we both bought some too. But the basically just telling people, hey, this is the project. Here's what's offering. Here's the price. Sometimes we would even say it on the actual collection, and then we would continuously just update this like as it was. So like right now the ad was like happening while this was like 55%, and then we would just change it after a while, be like 80%, as obviously mint was happening, and people could see it through the smart contract that the minting is happening, other people buying. So then they were like, okay, so this is legit. And then they would get excited. I'll show you another example of that. We did that was also successful.
Arvin, you're really good at paid ads. So maybe can you break down like what made it successful? You're really good at the psychology of like getting people to convert.
So here's another one. This was one of their first phase, and this is actually on my website too. People can see like all the details of it. But so the concept of this, and I have like all the ads for people. They can click on it. They can read the results and everything, like, just phase one sold out, when it sold out, how much went into it, how much money they made in each phase. And then and it's also like interesting things like, you see phase two sold out, and then you look at it's like 10 comments, 24 retweets, where it's like, to a lot of people that's strange, because they're like, oh, so these guys are not pumping their tweets and retweets, they're not paying anyone to just fake it. But that's like a real sold out project looks like. They don't need to. So they don't need to do anything weird, even though they sold out. Like this is the second phase. They still don't need to like buy random, fake followers or anything like that. They went on, did it once again, and then obviously sold out all the way through. But just the concept of it is the reason this works is like, I remember while I was like talking to the founder of this project, he was just telling me about like, how they have limited budget, like 20,000 something dollars. And this was like, to me, I was like, okay, if that's everything you have, it's difficult to like, get influencers when each influencer maybe it's like 5 to 10K. And then, there's not a lot of things you can do. So you got to be very conservative with your budget. And then, so we're like, okay, cool. Is there, so there's a budget, obviously, that we need to be conservative about, but then also people too at the time, and this is still the case, to be honest, I see it in a lot of people, and I think it's actually see it even more so right now. I just think about even for myself, if I'm interested in a project, in 2 minutes, I can tell if I want to buy it or not. And if that's the case, and I can see all the indicators in a project that this is a project I want to buy, I'm not going to go into join their Discord, spend 20 hours a week, grinding their Discord, and then to get some whitelist, and then later on, hopefully I remember what date they're going to actually mint, because they're probably going to be terrible at just reminding me. And on that day, I'll go and actually mint it, and then I have to just like stay up because someone else just like, some kids like that just has nothing else in their life to do. They just want to mint this, right? So it just didn't make sense. So I thought, okay, what if we just told people, here's the price, go look at like the utilities in the video, we show you everything about it. And if you want to buy it, just go buy it right now. Why do we have to like build communities around things that people don't want to be inside these communities? Sometimes they just want to buy, and then that would be the actual community, instead of just build. And then it's like Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin didn't come up with a community first and then just say, hey guys, we're launching Bitcoin. Do you guys want to buy it? Like that wasn't how this was happening, right? So I disagree with a lot of people saying, it's all about community. I actually say it's about like product market fit too. Like people got to see what you have. If they like it, they're going to buy. If they don't like it, they don't, right? So, and then a community is formed around it too. So I suppose that's, and you see, obviously these are by the way, real numbers. So 6.9 million views. This is because of the ads. It's not their organic reach, obviously, right? Because you could see the other post, but yeah, so these things working, and I to be honest, I prefer it. And then I, of course, just with my background, I wanted this to work. So I'm biased in that sense, but yeah, those are some of the results. And then right now I'm actually doing a variation of that. So for a project, and maybe in a month I should just tell you guys, like, because it's working right now. If someone goes there, but I don't think they could tell. But it's working. So in a month, maybe I can just bring it up. It's a variation of this. It's not exactly like taking people directly to the mint, but it's similar. But it's just like it's like there's some friction in between. There's some other things people need to do. So
Wow.
yeah.
All right. Well, we need to definitely break that down on the next episode. So
Yeah, of course.
yeah, good stuff. All right,
Cool.
Arvin. Well, yeah, great episode. And
Wrap it
let's
up.
do this again.